People like chairs. Everyone likes chairs. We like chairs.
We do like chairs.
We're sitting on chairs. Chairs are good. Chairs are like people.
People are like chairs.
Which are like Facebook. Welcome to TEChBrits. So yes, we haven't completely lost the plot. That little printer there was about Facebook's new ad campaign, which has a lot of chairs.
Yes, it starts with chairs. Chairs are things you sit on. Chairs are things. It's a dictionary definition of a chair.
Yeah, pretty much. And the whole gist of it is... Well, actually, I don't know. Explain the gist of it. I'm a bit lost.
Well, apparently chairs are something that you can use... If you have a big enough chair, you can get together and sit together. And like chairs
So
are
it's
like
a kind of
Facebook.
social experience, but should it be more of a couch?
Yeah, it's like couches or sofas.
Yeah, so
But then they go on to doorbells, bridges. Bridges I can understand actually.
Yeah.
Like doorbells.
Yeah, especially an answer or doorbell. I don't know. It's a crazy ad campaign.
It's a weird advert.
Anyway, go check it out over on Facebook.
Yeah.
You might make more sense of it. Anyway, there's been big debate over the last couple of weeks about whether Apple should have left Google Maps. Like,
Yeah.
they're not quite up to par.
That was a debate from when Apple announced Apple Maps.
Yeah.
But
And, I mean, a lot of people say that, well, Apple Maps have just come out. But then, Apple Maps isn't Apple Maps. Apple Maps is partnered with about 10 different companies, which have been around for years. And, I mean, the Maps application itself, I think, was in development for about 3 years. But anyway, there's a new application release called ClassicMap. Now, this app allows you to switch between Apple's Maps and Google Maps. And it's quite good being able to flip between the two and see at the moment how much better Google Maps is. But of course it is also
can you just
useful
keep
as well.
ClassicMap on and just have Google Maps?
Yeah.
Or is
Yeah,
ClassicMap a toggle?
It's kind of like you know where you press the little page curl and you see the standard hybrid.
Yeah.
You can press between standard and classic. So the classic is the Google Maps and the standard is the Apple Maps.
Yeah, that's going to get removed quickly.
Yeah, probably. So it might have already gone by the time this episode goes up.
Yeah.
So grab it while you can if it's still there. It's free.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what do you think of the
I think-
whole Apple Maps thing?
I think I agree with a lot of people saying Apple Maps are definitely not ready for the prime time. But I think people can... They're a little bit harsh, I think. I understand it because I've used it, but people are able to use it. I have used it and got to where I'm meant to be going. Ergo, what a map's supposed to do. So it is usable. It's not as detailed, and I agree it's not as detailed, it's nowhere near ready to take over Google Maps, but it does work in a sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it really does work. That's a problem. I mean,
It does.
Apparently they've updated it again lately, but there has been like many times lately where I've tried to use it to get to a place and it just either won't find it or it takes me down like the extra long route.
Yeah, well...
I mean, some people are getting in like real trouble with these maps. Like there's actually been like people... well, as there has been with like a lot of GPS navigation apps, like people driving into lakes and crazy stuff like that, which... To be honest, I think these people are just blindfolded.
They shouldn't be driving in the first place.
I was going to say, but yeah, I mean, they aren't ready for prime time. But I mean, they're supposedly doing something about it. I mean,
They have been updating it backstage. Not backstage, they're not here. But they have been updating it. The flyover is getting better. There's been clear evidence of that. You know, you can actually see the building. It's not just a mould of...
I was going to say, they did release a hell of a lot of new points of interest lately, but then problem is a lot of it seems to be in the US. I've seen a couple of editors talking to one another, one from here in the UK and one from the US. And the guy in the US was like, oh, all these new points of interest have suddenly appeared on Apple Maps. And he showed a comparison between before and after. And like I said, in the US, the after shot was just piled loads of them. And then the other guy, and he was in like central London, like somewhere where you'd think would be sort of updated. Yeah, he showed his screenshot, and it was just the same. It was like it just showed the Apple Store. That's all it showed on the point of interest. And then like he showed the comparison shot between the Google Maps one, which was previous, and it was all covered in bars and clubs and parks and all these different points of interest.
The Apple Store.
Yeah, it was just the Apple Store. Like on the entire map was just the Apple Store. But hey,
Yeah, no, it's not ready for prime time. It's coming. They're slowly getting there.
Yeah,
I think.
I think by the time iOS 7 comes around, then it'll be perfectly usable, it'll be fine.
And I think the fact that Tim Cook actually apologised was weird, because that's not a very Apple move to do. To actually publicly say, we buggered up. So maybe a new direction for, they've publicly apologised about the maps. They've said they're saying a lot more, like, sort of explaining a lot more. They've explained about the purple hue that some iPhone 5 users are getting.
Yeah.
It was a bad explanation, but they're explaining.
Yeah.
But they're definitely doing something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I won't go too much into it. I get enough.
Colour?
Of course, yes. The Lumia 920 advert, if you want to see what that colour is about.
No! That's a GIF image if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, please make a GIF out of that, someone out there. It could be a new meme. Talking of memes, that IKEA advert.
Tumblr has decided to go a bit crazy, as Tumblr does, and there's a new sort of... I can see this becoming a meme. It's not an official meme yet, but I can see this definitely becoming a meme quickly. But they're replacing women in famous pictures with IKEA furniture.
It sounds weird, but you have to check some of these out. They are.
Yeah, it starts off with the Bin Laden raid, and all the women in that picture are IKEA furniture. The famous black and white kissing scene. He's kissing a lamp. It's weird, but it's Tumblr. What do you expect?
I was gonna say, I don't know quite why, but you can't really explain many memes, to be honest.
You can't explain the internet.
No, you just go with it. You roll with it.
Exactly.
Right, for our next discussion, 4G.
Yes.
Right, we know that it's not really ready. Like here in the UK, we were like slow to the uptake. Nearly every other country had it before us. Finally, everything everywhere have launched it in like most of the main UK cities, which I'm not that happy about because of it's exclusive to everything everywhere, which is Orange and T-Mobile's partnership, which kind of locks out all the other networks. So like Free don't have access to it, like not Orange, like O2 don't have access to it, Vodafone don't have access to it. I think Vodafone phoned you up begging you to back.
That was weird. Vodafone phoned me the other day and were like, "Hi, we're your old network. You want to come back?" And I was like, "No, no, thanks."
Yes, I feel sorry for these. Yeah, I feel sorry for these networks because of that's the problem is that they won't get this until late 2013, and a lot of people want this new technology. Yeah,
I mean, I've seen the speed tests and I've seen sort of the difference between 3G and 4G, and it is substantial difference. But to be honest, if you can't wait a few extra seconds for your screen to load,
well, I mean, it's going to shave some time off. I mean, we're going from 3 megabits a second to about 30. So I know there's going to be stress tests like over the last few months.
But what I mean is like, I don't. Sometimes I'm kind of there like, load, please just load. I'm in a rush. Sometimes I'm not like that. The majority of the time when I'm not like that, I mean, it might be the fact that I have an incredibly slow broadband connection, but I've never found myself really just doing mundane things in a high signal area, kind of going, oh, I wish this would load faster.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much loading, it's more kind of the productivity of sort of being able to upload more than anything. Like,
upload I can kind of understand. I can understand upload.
Yeah. I've not actually looked at the upload speeds of things. I've seen the download speeds.
Upload's definitely better. Oh my god, upload's improved dramatically.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean,
it's gone from 0.1, it's like gone from 0.2 to like 12. So uploads I think are a big thing, but I have a horrible feeling that Orange are actually going to make any users who want to switch to 4G get a new contract. Like update their
I was going to say, I hope they don't monopolise on it too much. I mean, time will tell with this, because obviously I want to get Lumia 920 and I'll probably end up getting on everything everywhere. So I'm hoping that because they're the only network offering it, that they're not going to be on a £50 a month contract for the next 2 years.
Well, what would you do if they were? Would you?
No, I'll stick to 3G.
Yeah, 3G, like I said, is still there.
Yeah, but this is what the discussion is. I mean, 4G is also known as LTE, like long-term evolution. Like, it's still developing sort of technology, and I've got no idea how it works, to be honest. Like, So, like, I've tried to look into it, and it runs on fairy dust, in my opinion. It's insane. But we're already investing into 5G.
Not totally out of the world.
4G barely exists at the moment. Like, we were late to 4G, so like, I'm glad that that our government is finally like, we need to have good infrastructure in place, and they're looking into that.
You've got to be one step ahead of the game.
Yeah,
but they weren't really that much ahead of the game. I kind of get why you're a bit bemused, but a lot of things are acting like that now. The day before the iPhone 5 was announced, the iPhone 6 was already having rumors. Before things happen, things happen.
Yeah.
Future things happen. So, back in 1955, we were seeing Airwalk Nike boots that tied their own shoelaces. Yeah. No, that was a film. Never mind.
Damn it. Wow, I thought 2012 would be the year of the hoverboards. Look how that turned out.
It's 2015. We've got 3 years. Hoverboards are coming.
Okay. Is that just like our hoverboards? Are we going into the hardware business here?
Yes, TEChBrits hoverboards.
2015. Watch this space.
Oh God. I have a horrible feeling. In 3 years we're going to get emails. Where are the hoverboards?
Yeah, we're not promising anything. Like, don't go sending any complaints.
Send them to, right.
Right, now, one of my favourite mobile operating systems was WebOS on the Pre and the HP touchpad. It never really took off, but it was a fabulous operating system. Now the project has gone open source. HP have released it as OpenWebOS. It's pretty much like a Linux kind of system where it's completely open. And this could be like an Android competitor.
I was about to say, this could be interesting. Because a lot of people liked WebOS.
Yes, they did.
Like yourself, I know my mate Sam did. I quite liked it, which was weird for considering I was a massive Apple douche back in the day.
Back in the day.
But no, WebOS is I think WebOS might see a climb now as open source. I genuinely think that developers who don't want to go with Google will go with HTC. No, HTC, HP. That was awkward.
Yeah, well, I mean, it looks fantastic. And it's already available on the Galaxy Nexus, I think. It's already ported over to that. So yeah, I mean, we can see a rise of cheap devices and a great operating system.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, talking about Android and Google, obviously they had massive success with the Nexus. It's been a 7-inch tablet. They worked with Asus on that. Asus, sorry. But Asus, Asus, I don't know, I hear 2 different pronunciations. I think it's actually supposed to be pronounced Asus. But they're working now to get a 10-inch Nexus out. Working obviously in collaboration with Samsung. Now, the rumoured spec is supposed to have 2650 by 1600 screen, which leaves that at a pixel per inch of 299, which, again, slaughters the iPad.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Nexus, I've wanted to pick up a Nexus, but I feel with my iPad, I would use my Nexus, because a Wi-Fi only Nexus, I would use it for what I use my iPad for.
Yeah.
And I use my iPad, and I'm already in sort of, I've used my iPad, and I know how to use it. I don't want to have to buy something that will probably get updated tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Nexus, that's the good thing, is that Nexus probably will get a lot of the future Android updates, and it's already great hardware.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, it's like, literally, they're talking about the next Nexus now.
The 10-inch Nexus, not the
10-inch
Nexus. Yeah.
But, like, I already have a tablet. I'm not...
Yeah, I was going to say, I probably won't bother getting a 10-inch, but a 7-inch is a good size. Like, it's like when I went to Eurogamer, obviously I could take my Nexus with me then. I mean, you don't want to take your iPad.
No.
Yeah, it was great. Just having notes on the go, and yeah, it was fantastic. Right. So now you showed me a couple of Passbook vouchers.
So Passbook, obviously Apple's iOS 6 feature that hasn't really been touched here in the UK. Well, I don't know if you guys know, but there are a couple of things. You can go into the Passbook app, and there's the App Store button, and you can download, I think, hotels, a hotel app, a couple of American Airlines, and Lithuania Airlines or something.
Yeah,
like their ticket things. But vouchers, I've always kind of wondered how vouchers was going to work. Yeah. Well, it turns out the vouchers are developed from literally like cinemas and restaurants and stuff directly from them, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And what we've got is there's a couple that are out now. I don't know, they expire soon, but there's one for Odeon, which if you go to the link that I'm going to leave in the description, I'm not 100% sure what that is, but you can get 30% off Odeon tickets.
Yeah.
And there's one for the Harvester, which is you get £5 off when you spend £30 or more. So they are coming, they are there, slowly but surely. I think M&S is going to get...
Yeah, I think like Starbucks is launching or launched.
Starbucks launched their loyalty card in the States, but it's not here yet. But that'll probably be here sometime soon.
Also, it's nice to see sort of it is getting some uptake.
It is.
Because it is very easy to implement the Passbook Vouchers. Because I mean, you could create your own ones.
Yeah,
quite
back
easily.
before, in the beta days, there was a website called... Well, it still exists, actually. It's called Pass Source, which essentially allowed you to create vouchers.
Yeah.
Which was... Actually, that's probably how some companies do create vouchers.
Yeah, it is pretty much the same process. It is a really good system, actually. I mean, so I'm going to prefer being able to use NFC and all that. Well, I mean, Passbook, yeah, it works just for a QR kind of, just a scan and go.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had a chance to use it yet, but when I do, I will report back.
Yeah. Right, now, Xbox Live, a service I use pretty much daily. Now, it's been rumoured for a long time that you would actually be able to be rewarded for your GamerScore. So all these achievements that you're stacking up, like, they're more than just bragging rights now. Now you can actually get rewards. So at the moment, they're quite small. Like, they have separate tiers that once you get up to a certain tier, the first one's quite simple to get to. I think it's only like 1,000 GamerScore or something like that. If you're between that bracket, then you get just a free gift on your birthday, I think it is. Then the next tier, you get like 1% off of your purchases. Then the next tier, you get like 2% off. But it's nice being able to actually be rewarded.
Yeah, I was about to say, it reminds me a bit of... Remember the older arcade tickets?
Yes.
Where you print out arcade tickets and you take it to the desk and they give you sweets or...
You get really excited, then you realise that you need to spend about 500 quid to get a pound toy.
Yeah. Those types of things. It's a similar system where, the higher the GamerScore, the more you get.
The more you get rewarded.
How much have you got?
I think I'm like 2% off purchases or something at the moment.
That's not bad.
Yeah, no, it's alright. It's quite good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Next.
Right, continuing on. Now, Windows Phone 8.
Sorry, I spoiled it.
I was going to say, spoil my story. No, I'm well excited for Windows Phone 8. You might have guessed that by now. But it's not actually officially launched yet. It's launching on October 29th. Now, they just sent out like a little teaser image, which looks like it might be launching in London, actually.
Wouldn't surprise me.
They sent a picture, and it had the Big Ben on the picture, so it might even be around the Big Ben.
Wouldn't surprise me. Nokia is a Finnish company, which is in Europe. London's one of the biggest cities in Europe in terms of technology following and stuff.
Yeah, this one. I mean, Nokia is something I want to talk about again in a sec, actually. But
with Windows Phone's launch, it kind of would make sense for it to be. I don't know what I'm saying.
You would have thought so, but I mean, I'll go on to that in a sec. But Windows Phone 8, they're hiding something big. Like there's a big secret going on there. Like the SDK is very locked down at the moment. Pretty much half of Microsoft is on a complete security lockdown. Like their Xbox and their some of their Windows Phone departments are like on full high security. That like no one can go near it except from the team themselves. So they're hiding something.
I would love to work there. It's like, where do you work? I work behind the door, guarded by the two big burly folks. So we're in a club. It's like, no.
Big metal support.
Yeah, it's like, I have to swipe a card, scan my eyes, put my hand on the...
and turn two keys.
At the same time, on different sides of the building.
Different sides of the planet. But yes, it's on some high security. I'm not sure quite that high, but high nonetheless. I'm excited. Like, it looks fantastic already. Can't wait to see what they got up their sleeves. And the launch is on October 29th.
You actually showed me a website that you tweeted the other day. It was essentially you could play with Windows Phone 7, not 8.
Yeah.
But you play with Windows Phone 7 on any phone you have, whether it be an iPhone, an Android, or anything like that. And I thought that was pretty cool, actually. I had a quick play with and then I kind of went, I remember why I don't like it now.
It's not for everyone.
It's the fact that the titles keep getting cut off It's just like a little OCD bit of mine where it's like people and then it's like, oh.
I like that. It makes it feel like an expanded screen to me. Like it feels like it's using more space than should be there. So you're kind of swiping through it, and it feels like you're going through a whole big space.
Yeah. But no, the link for that will also be down below. If you do want to play with Windows Phone 7, they might update it to Windows Phone 8. Who knows?
Yeah, fairly soon, hopefully. But yeah, talking about why they won't be with Nokia, and this is why I feel bad for Nokia, because Microsoft have basically turned their back on them for HTC. Like, they're calling the 8X, the Windows Phone 8X, and that's their signature phone. Like, Microsoft have gone with HTC for their signature phone instead of Nokia.
Well, I can see why Nokia would be really annoyed at that. That's like us saying we're TEChBrits and then talking about nothing but gossip news.
Yeah. Yeah, it's...
That's really sad, actually. That's really bad. I actually feel incredibly sorry for Nokia. I almost want to buy a Lumia just... No, I don't. But, no, that's a shock.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the Lumia, it's a superbly better device. I mean, the PureView camera, like the examples coming out of that is amazing. And, I mean, the video recording capabilities. I mean, I'm pretty much buying that to use as a primary camera, and a lot of people will be buying it and almost dropping their DSLRs for it just because of the convenience of it. And I mean the screen, like the HD plus screen, I mean it's better.
Would you
than
say
HD.
dropping DSLRs? Really?
Like not for professional photography.
I was gonna say
like
hold on.
Like I mean it nearly matches it, but I mean because I mean you can still get like some fantastic like depth of field and all that with this device. I mean a lot of people will be, but. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to match a DSLR, but for the convenience of it, yeah. Anywho,
moving on.
Yeah, now a lot of people also wonder about Windows 8, whether it's going to work with the whole touchscreen thing. But a study just came out, and this was I think it was a Verge on this study, and like they used it over a space of a week, and like all the people that used it gravitate towards a touchscreen more than they do a mouse.
Which is not really that surprising. No,
but that's what it's meant to be used for.
Exactly.
Like like all the people that are like, wow, it's not going to work with a keyboard and mouse. Well, it will, because you just use the touchscreen. Like just.
But if you don't have a touchscreen.
Well, like I say, you don't have to.
That's the point.
You don't have to use, but it does work without.
One of the big complaints is the fact that when when Windows 8 launches, if they launch as a retail box, for example, people are installing it on their own machines. It's the latest and greatest, and then they're like, they're not.
But it's not.
I know
it does work fine. Like I don't like if you used it for like it's a massive departure, and that's why people find it so hard to pick up like instantly because it's so new. Like they're not used to Windows being like that. Like Windows has been pretty much the same for the last few years. It's been boring and tedious as hell. Like some like slight interface sort of changes, like to do with like the colours and the graphics, but it's been pretty much the same thing for ages. Now they've completely changed flipping everything.
Except the desktop view is still the desktop view. Yeah,
which you're not supposed to really use. I mean, like before Windows 8 is even launched, they now have 200,000 apps or something like that. So now you can actually stay in the Metro environment. You don't have
more
to
reason
switch
for
to
me
desktop.
not to switch back to Windows.
Really can't understand that.
Yeah, so that doesn't surprise me. The study, just generally. Back to the headline. Last story. It's been a very slow week, we found. But the last story is Angry Birds Space is being re-released. No, it's not. Angry Birds is going back to space with
Star
costumes.
Wars.
Yeah. You ruined my Angry Birds story.
Yeah.
Angry Birds Star Wars edition is coming out on November 8th, which was going to be interesting because why? Why?
I don't know. Angry Birds just does my head in. Everywhere you look, you see Angry Birds. Angry Birds? Angry Birds. Trading cards, stickers. You see just everything. Plush toys, costumes. It's crazy.
I mean, Angry Birds is a huge part of the 21st century lifestyle now.
Is it?
Well, it
is it a necessary part?
It's not necessary, but I think they've gone a little too far.
The thing is, it's
a lot of
becoming
people.
is just becoming just cash. It's just, I mean, of course a company's going to do that, but
it's the same game just with like costumes. Just add it as like a. What they should do is they should have the original game, and then have all the games in-app purchases.
I mean, I was impressed with Bad Piggies. Like,
Bad
I
Piggies
thought that was
completely
just
different.
more going to be about just changing it up a little bit to take money, but it's pretty much a complete
It
new
is
game.
completely new game.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is all.
Yeah.
It's been a rather slow week here at TEChBrits Studios.
TEChBrits Towers.
TEChBrits
I prefer
Towers.
that.
Fair enough. TEChBrits Towers. Of course, you can contact us at the normal places. The email address, techbrits@gmail.com. The Twitters.
Yeah. Our main Twitter at TEChBrits, or follow us individually. Follow me at gadget_right.
And at George Lim, that's J's instead of GE's.
Almost forgot your own catchphrase. So until next time, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we shall see you guys next week, hopefully.
Ciao.